to another episode of Paint with Heart in the Paint with Heart studios here in Zoom. I'm Cindy Harrison, your host and artist, and we are going to be painting a scene today that I entitled Bask in the Moment. And it's a lovely scene that we're going to do in layers. So we have a background layer, then we're going to put another layer, and then we're going to add some eggshells. But before we go on to that, let me introduce you to my bestie, Melissa Reyes.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Cindy. I'm Melissa Reyes. You can find me at MsMeliz.com. And I am so excited to be here with you today to bask in the moment. I have had a really interesting week, and I'm feeling a lot better, having been sick. And it's sunny and warm here in Southern California. So I'm anxious to get started on our project. And of course, the word for the week is bask. So that means soak it all in and enjoy the happiness that is in the moment. So we're going to do that today and just enjoy being together. So thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Here's our project, and this is what it's going to look like when it's completed. And as I said on Facebook, you can, at any one point, you can stop right there and it would be a perfect picture. And I'll show you when we get there. First off, we're going to do our sky. What you got on the website are 3 line drawings, I believe. And each one has a different layer. The first layer, what I want you to do is have on your canvas the outline for around the pond and for the walkway. When you get that line on there, and I use a T-square because you don't want the land to be, wiggy. So you put the T-square on, and you can either put graphite paper under or use a pencil line to get that line. This is the only thing I had left is 11 by 14 canvas. I'd really prefer it to be on an 8 by 10. But this being 11 by 14, I'm about 2 3/4 of the way up. This one, 8 by 10, I'm about 1 1.25 up from the bottom. So I put tape down. You're gonna put tape, take this off. You're gonna put tape down on the ground part. Right now. Take out Blue Haven, Colonial Blue, and some Snow White, and put those puddles on your palette. If you have a large oval wash brush, like a 1-inch is what I use. If you don't have a 1-inch oval wash, then use your biggest flat that you have. The larger the brush, the easier and the quicker you'll get your surface painted. Put it in the water, get some of that water up in the ferrule so if the paint accidentally gets up there, it doesn't dry. And yes, I didn't thank everyone for being here, did I? But thank you all for being here. And those who are watching us on replay.
I wanted to thank everybody for being here, and I also wanted to take a quick second to thank Kathy and Suzanne for sharing and posting this week from the event on Facebook and pictures from last time.
So I'm going to take this brush. It's a little bit damp. As you can see, there's some water in it, not to worry. Pick up white first. Pick up a bunch of white on your brush, and then you start painting. If you need to pick up water as you go, that's fine too. So it's more like a wash of this white on here rather than we're painting it white. It's just to give us a little base to work with when we blend our colors in. So I'm gonna go and pick up, I didn't bring it all the way down. I could, but I didn't. I'm gonna go pick up some of that light blue value, and if you don't have Blue Haven, take a light blue value that you do have on the brighter side, and I'm gonna start blending that right into the white, but leaving it streaky. I'm not gonna over blend it so it's all one color. I'm gonna leave it streaky, if you can tell that through the camera. But always going left to right. My sky is left to right. A little bit of moisture as we get down. Yeah, it's hard to tell light colors on here. The lights wash out the color. A little bit of moisture, a little bit of paint. If you're not gonna frame it, you're gonna wanna put some of that color on the sides as well. So we don't have to go all the way down to our water line because we are gonna put trees and stuff there. So I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, it's too, oh, there we go. See how streaky it is? That's what you want, all that streakiness. Now I'm going to add, I didn't wash my brush out. I'm gonna pick up some of that Colonial blue. I'm gonna start at the top, and that is like way dark. So you can wipe it off on your paper towel and then come in and just streak some of that in there. If you can't move it, pick up moisture, pick up paint or water, and that will help you to move that color along. I don't want a lot of it because I don't want a stormy sky, but I do want some variation in there. So you can see that left to right, right to left. So once that is done, you want to probably hit it with a blow dryer. And then you're going to, I put the tape here just in case you went down that far, but hit it with the blow dryer, lift your tape off, and then put it on the side where the water is going to be. And paint this area with a dove gray. I'm going to blow dry it.
Okay.
Because we need to do that before we can continue. I just don't want to put my finger in wet paint because you know that will happen.
Oh no, that would be horrifying for you. So do we have to, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask if we had to have any special prep for those eggshells. Like right now, I just have my clean and dried eggshells ready.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Clean and dry eggshells. That's good.
I can't wait till that part. I'm getting excited. Something different.
When you're done doing your sky and your walkway here, we're going to put out puddles of, we have our Colonial blue out, so put out a puddle of Foliage and light Avocado.
Cindy, what color did you base coat the bottom?
This is dove gray.
Thank you.
Or a light gray value of some sort. If this is dry, if you need 2 coats, put a second coat, and when it's dry, we're gonna take it off. And then we're gonna put in some ground and water.
Can you use like an antique white?
No. or light buttermilk? See this puddle here and that puddle there.
I've got a light buttermilk. I don't have that burlap. Darn it.
I know, that's why I said, like, do you have mink tan or toffee?
I think I have mink tan.
Mix that with some white, or I suppose you can mix it with light buttermilk and see what happens, but I wouldn't mix it with antique white. I'm gonna go and erase my water line here and lighten up my, not that you can see it, but I'm gonna lighten up that line. It's a little too dark and it might show up if I don't. I'm gonna go in with my 3/4 inch wash brush. Pick up the burlap or whatever light beige on the corner of your brush and tap it, but I'm not gonna work it out like a side load. But I am gonna come in with it and bring it, zigzag it. I'm zigzagging. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna bring that color out, out and in, out and in, out and in. And if you're not following my lines exactly, it's okay. Just wash it off. You can bring it a little bit over here on a chisel. And start zigzagging it in on this side.
Mm.
Brush it off. Turn it around. So that's giving us a basis for our land area. Now, in the same manner, I'm going to pick up some Colonial blue on the corner of my brush, and I'm going to chisel that in between the tan color I just put on. But only bring it about halfway, well, not even halfway down. I'm gonna bring it down the left side, about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way down. Go around your beige and chop it in. Chop, 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 chop. Try not to let any white show up. But if it does, we can fix it. Chopping that in. Soften that makeup line a little bit. I'm going to wash my brush off. I'm going to pick up some of the light avocado color. And again, I'm not blending these out. I'm just picking up the color and then chopping that in. So that's gonna meet the blue, go a little bit over the blue, and then come down. And come underneath. And bring it up a little bit into the blue. And if the blue's wet, it'll blend. So real technical, you know, techniques here.
What's the blue that you use there?
I use Colonial blue.
Thank you.
Sliding the brush left and right, left and right, left and right.
Shake it.
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
Shake it, shake it.
And then when we get that all on our surface, and I'm using a bigger surface, so it's taking me a little bit more time, a little bit more peak. I'm gonna wash my brush out again. And then I'm going to pick up some of the foliage green. And I'm gonna start at the bottom this time, and I'm going to bring it up into the avocado, or the, what did I say it was, light avocado, yeah. So this would be, if you kept the tape there, then you wouldn't worry about going over it. But being that we're using the chisel edge of the brush, I think it's helping. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the light avocado with the blue and go right over that blue that I put on there. This is not like a pond, a freshwater pond. This is a murky, murky, swampy pond. I probably would have put water lilies or something in it if I thought we were actually going to see it. It really, it's about two couples together, just enjoying the moment. Okay.
4.5. That's me. How's everybody else doing? I'm gonna unmute some people. Let's see. How you doing, Ophelia?
Not too bad, but I've got the smaller, and it's just like,
Oh, looks good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you from the bottom up though, you have some path there.
okay,
You need to do a little.
Yeah, you
band
can
here.
paint up the path with the gray, a light gray value.
the gray,
Yep.
okay.
How you doing, Suzanne and Mariah? Oh look.
Look at that. Lovely.
Very nice. You got that.
Very lovely.
All right. So you want to go on, or you want to check on everybody?
There, yeah, if you're waiting until everybody's caught up, you can blow dry it.
How are you doing, Cynthia?
Good.
Good? Let's
Yep.
see. Okay.
Well, I didn't have burlap, so we used fawn with white.
Yep, that's excellent. That's excellent. Now that that's dry, I'm going to go on and put some greeny, grassy ground in, but I don't want it to look like my water. So when I come up to the shoreline, if you will, I'm going to leave this beige color there. I'm not going to bring the green all the way up to it. So I'm gonna start first with picking up the light avocado, and I'm gonna probably wipe some of that off. And it's streaky, again, I'm just gonna be streaky, and I'm gonna bring it up to, but not touching the water. So. Now I'm going to bring it a little bit closer on the top edge, not the bottom. And then we'll do the same on this side. I'm trying to do things with less and less side loading so I don't stress anybody out.
It's funny, but I appreciate it. It's you that gets stressed out because I simply just don't. I just give up, and then she sees my paintings without the side loading, and she's like, "But you didn't finish it."
But you're not the only person. It stresses a lot of people out.
Yeah,
It does.
I don't know why.
It's not just you.
I just need to like focus more and not give up so easily. I can do it. I will. But thank you. It's fun to not have to worry about it. I'm not sure if I'm doing. I feel like I'm really off. Look at this, Cindy.
But it's challenging to me too. So I'm learning too. So that's what is good about it. Oh, look at that.
No, I did. I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
You got a white spot over on your left, but yeah, fix that. Put stuff in there.
Why did I don't know why I didn't go that far.
You might want to put the brown first. Or unless you make it all water.
Oh, that's why I didn't go in there, because it was going to be brown. Duh. I'm still working on my water.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
My water's mostly green.
That's okay. It looks swampy and that's what you want.
So this is supposed to be brown?
Yeah, you can make that brown. Now I washed my brush out. I let that set up a little bit and dry, and I'm going to go in and pick up some of the foliage, and I'm just going to kind of touch and go here. It's not a big movement. Just kind of sweeping it across. I didn't put any back there. So can you see it? Can you see that? Do you see how it kind of, it's like you can walk into it? Like if there was nothing else there, it could be like Ireland or something, you know?
I don't know. Yours looks,
Just
looks like a landscape.
Just green off into the sunset.
Yeah, yours does.
If you lost some of your beige, you can go back in with a liner brush, a round brush or something, and put that back in. And if you have any white, if you left any white areas between the water and the green, you can cover it now with the beige. When that's dry, go ahead and trace on the tracing stage number 2 tracing, which is what Melissa has on there now in your trees. Or we can just fake it and put them on without that. This is where you evaluate your piece, and if the ground and the water look too similar, you can pick up a little bit more of the Colonial blue, and you can go back. I just didn't want it too blue, but you can go back and put some of that in there so it doesn't look. Some of you didn't, you still have your blues, so that's good. And I'm gonna just kind of slide some of that color in here on this side. You're going to need a deerfoot brush and add to your puddle some Plantation Pine. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to start creating the bushes in the background, trees and bushes. First off, I'm going to start by dipping it into, well, I'm going to wet it so a little bit, get the water out, dip it into the Plantation Pine and start from the ground up. So I'm tapping it a little on the, so it goes over, it's going to go over that green area a little bit. And then I start bringing it up, but not so that I'm doing ducks in a row. You know, just be different everywhere. And if you want to change the direction of your brush, you can change the direction of your brush. Have some high points, have some low points. Start down here, bring it up. It's going to be one big pounce of blob with a little bit of sky showing through it right now. We're not going to start discerning the different trees, the different bushes from each other. We're just basing some in. It's always going to be darker at the base. That's where it's thicker. And then as it gets up, it gets a little airier. That's a word. I make up words, you know. Whatever works.
Yep, whatever works. So all around the tree line, we're doing this pouncing.
Yep, pouncing, pouncing, pouncing. What fun. Have some sky showing. It's okay. Have some sky showing. I'm on a stretch canvas, so I'm very bouncy. And I don't go all the way up to the top. If you notice, I'm not going all the way up to the top. So don't bring it too high. Yeah, wash my brush out. Pick up some light avocado. Now this time you're going to start to form your forest, okay? You're going to keep this be your darkest. And as you do this, you're going to bring some bushes and trees in the foreground and you're going to put some in the background. I'm going to start up here in the lightest value. I'm going to start to put in. Now you're not going to see a whole lot of it, but I'm putting it to the left of the trees on this side and I'll put it to the right on the trees on that side. So I'll turn my brush over and I'll tap some of that in. It'll really show up when you get to the next value. And it doesn't always have to be on the top ones either. And if you want a little one over here, and you want tops of some here, you can bring those down, bring them down here. So what am I doing? I will show you. With this color, this is what I have done. If I have my tree line, and that's all the first value. The second value, I went like this. See, that's all I did with that value. When I go back in, after I wash my brush out and I pick up some foliage, I'm going to do the same, only this time I'm going to keep it to the tops of that. So keep that. So just create your forest however you see it. No right, no wrong. It's just is. And then now I'm going to pick up some Midnite Green. And I'm just going to use this in certain areas where I want the darkest darks. So that would be in the corner against the ground. And then I'm going to start separating some of my trees and bushes. See how that starts to separate them? So I'm going to put some behind, some in front. So right now we're just creating our little forest. I'm putting it Midnite Green in the darkest areas, typically towards the ground or where the brush would be the thickest, just to separate my bushes and my trees. And if you put some up here, that kind of separates and makes that tree look like it's further back from these. Let's see. So it's almost like getting a haircut. You can redefine areas that didn't reshape them, reshape your areas. So you see it starting to happen. I put in mine a weeping willow tree. The way I learned how to put a weeping willow in is really cool. You use a fan brush. So you can use a bigger fan brush, but I'm gonna use a small one. I'm gonna take some of the Midnite Green first and pretend like you can put in your tree trunks, and you can either follow my pattern or you can put in your own. But I'm gonna put my weeping willow, say here. And I'm gonna start by tapping in and doing like a waterfall. So you start straight on and you tip it like that. And you start straight and tip it, and tip it, and tip it. And then you tip it that way.
That's what that was on the line drawing?
Yep.
I thought that was a pile of rocks.
Yeah, no, it's waterfall. Weeping willow.
A weeping, you're so awesome, Cindy.
So this weeping willow can go over the up and down.
Before I start putting mine in, and before I get too far in yours, I want you to look at my trees and see if I've finished my trees,
Okay, hold on.
my bushes, because I still have a lot of blue showing through.
Okay. Oh, beautiful.
So do you think I should fill in more blue?
Instead of being rounded on the bottom, you have like scoops on the bottom of dark. Make it more straight across.
Some more green going straight across.
Yeah, you want to connect that green on the near the water line, but the top part is fine.
See, my line drawing had trunks, so I was leaving space for tree trunks.
Yeah, no.
Okay, just go all the way to the ground.
The tree trunks are going to be on, and hold on a second. The tree trunks are going to be over here and maybe over here.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
all this dark across here, you've got smiles.
Yeah.
Don't do smiles. Kind of, it can go up and down, but keep it the bottom pretty straight across.
Yours is a lot fuller. Okay, I'm not there yet. I'm not going to start my weeping willow yet.
It's fine. I'm going to put my weeping willow in, bring it down. Kind of like a candy cane. Tapping that in. Overlaying some of those. And the ones that are straight dead on are going to be kind of just straight dead on. They don't curve.
I also noticed like you can't see the blue anymore in your trees.
I can still see some of it, but it's not a lot.
Okay.
This weeping willow is going to touch the ground in a lot of areas. Once I do that, I'm going to go into, what I did here is I changed it up a little bit and I went over to the Colonial blue. And then I'm going to tap some of that. And that might be too much. Bring some of that over here. Flat and twist, flat and twist, flat and twist. Straight on.
Midnite Green.
And you can make this as full as you want it, or as from that, if you have any white left on your, if not on your palette, pick up some fresh white. And I mixed it in with the dirty brush, and I'm just gonna hit the tops of some of these. Kind of give it a little bit of a variation. So does that look weeping enough?
Oh yeah, that's. Maybe I've never seen a weeping willow tree.
It's kind of creepy.
Bad. It's creepy looking.
And you know what? If like I don't have a lot of that dark back here, so I'm going to take my little liner brush and I'm going to tap some of that in those lighter spaces to give it a little bit more density. Because if you got a little zealous on your Colonial blue, you can go back in. I'm going to put some of that dark back in and bring it down. So it's hard sometimes, and sometimes you cover what you just put on with the new color, and then you can't see enough of the new color.
Oh my God, I love my freaking trees. Sorry, just had to say.
Well, I'm glad you love it.
Trees are so much fun. When we did the palm trees,
Oh yeah.
that is when I thought I can do this. I've said this before in other episodes, but when you taught me how to do those palm trees, I was like, that transformed my whole being in this. And I'm basking in another moment of pond and tree. Look at this, Sydney.
Look at it.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
My microphone.
You know the very tippity toppity dark green on the tippity toppity?
Yeah, you want me to make it lighter?
Yeah, just go a little bit above it with a lighter value. But other than
I
that,
just punched in these lighter ones too, and I'm like, oh my god, that looks
well,
good.
you can probably do one more of that brightness toward the middle, but don't play any. Yeah, just sort of run there, just one, but don't
Right at
put
the
it in
top.
the middle. Just go on the tops a little bit above what you got there. That's
Awesome.
perfect. I love it.
Basking right now.
Basking.
Can you go over the willow on piece of paper, please? So let's do it.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to see the detail. Thank you. And that was Suzanne.
Okay.
I'm going to need to do it too now.
Piece of paper. Okay, fan brush. I'll use my bigger one. I first took some of the Midnite Green. I hold the brush flat on, and that's the first hit. Then as I come around, I go this way. So flat on, curve, flat on, curve, flat on, curve. Sometimes I start in the middle and scoop it up, and the ones that are straight on are just like that. So flat, and then turn it and bring it down. Flat, turn it and bring it down. That makes sense? Okay. When you hit it with the highlight,
Can you come over here and do mine for me, please?
start there and just, you don't bring it all the way down if you don't want to, or you can, up to you. You don't like what you put on, wash it off.
That's a fun technique for the fan brush. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Hmm.
I think that the,
It's a waterfall.
yeah. I'm gonna put a little bit more black on this, Midnite Green on this side because the sun's not shining on this side. Tone that down a little bit. Okay. And the sadness of it is all this is gonna be covered when we're done anyway. If you have some of that burlap or your light tan on your palette paper, still good. If not, put up a fresh puddle. I'm going to put in my tree trunks. I fan them out at the bottom. So when I put them on, I bring them out. So they fan out, maybe not that drastically, but this one's an old one. It's been here for a while. And I don't leave it, cut it straight across either. You can see how jagged. How jagged I'm leaving it. It's not straight across.
So can you do that? Oh, sorry. I missed it.
Okay, so when I come down with my tree trunk, I flick it off. Let me see. Okay, over here. I come down and I fan it out to the left and to the right and just bring down a few,
You're off camera.
oops, few strokes.
Thanks.
Bring it down. Swing it to the left, swing it to the right, bring down a few strokes.
What color is that?
This is the burlap. Swing it to the left, swing it to the right. A few strokes. If you had deadwood in your forest, if you had deadwood in the forest, I'll show you what you can do. Take your fine liner brush with this burlap, light beige color. Pick some area back here. And you can put some deadwood. You're gonna wanna go back over it and hit it with the foliage, tap it with the foliage brush so that you can hit or miss. But see how that gives it just, some more character. Put a second coat of that on my up here. While that's drying, I'm going to take a little bit of the black, lamp black, and on your 3/4 inch wash brush, you're going to pick up some of that color, but very little. Wipe most of it off on a paper towel. And if you need to draw another line here so that it parallels that one, go right ahead, but I'm just gonna tap, 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 tap it over. Tap, 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 leaving a little bit of an edge there. So it's not a perfect line. This is a curb. And then with a little bit on my brush, I'm going to streak some in. Like a walkway. If you get too much on there, pick up some water, wash it away. With a little bit of the white. Wipe it off on the paper towel and tap some in on the top of your walkway or curb. It might not show up as much. You can then, if you want to go like this, again, we're not going to see this. So now I'm going to pick up some bittersweet chocolate.
Sounds good.
And
Always in the mood for chocolate.
you like, yes, you like your chocolate.
I do.
I'm going to pick up my brown brush. And I'm going to load my brush on the point. Come over to my surface, and I'm going to come down the left side of this one and wash it toward the right. Reload, bring it down the left side, and streak it toward the right. See that? So I brought the paint in full strength, and then I streaked it toward the right. Strength, and I streaked it toward the right. See my tree trunk here?
Yep, I got it. I see it. I'm ready.
I'm gonna pick up the brown on the tip of my paintbrush, and I'm going to come down the side, and then I'm just gonna pull it down like this till I run out of paint. Bring that there and streak it through. It helps if there's a little bit of moisture in your brush. Bring it down. So on the right side, it's on the right, by the way. I turned it around so I can do it, but on the right side, it's on the right. Now you're gonna go and tap those in with your deerfoot brush. And you're gonna start with, let's put a little bit of the Midnite Green at the base and up one side. You're gonna go over your trunk a little bit. And this is a good time to go in and put some of that color, one of those colors at the base of your other areas. Now I'm gonna pick up the Plantation Pine, put that.
Got a really blurry view of your picture. I don't know why.
Sorry.
Sorry. There. Oh my gosh, so much better. Thank you.
Put some of that in, bring that up a little bit. Then I'm gonna add the avocado. Okay, I'm going to pick up some Colonial blue. And I'm going to tap those into these trees. You know, these look little puny trees next to. My other ones look so much. You can make them as big as you want. Kind of.
So how you got those trees all round on above the trunks? Because I missed that. My trunks are just.
Okay, so you take your deerfoot brush. I started with the Midnite, and I went like this. Then I went into the Plantation Pine and went like that. And then I went into the light avocado. Finish that. And then pick up some of that Colonial blue and put that in.
The what blue?
Colonial.
Colonial blue. All right, gotcha.
No foliage. I went from light avocado to Colonial blue.
Okay.
On our shoreline, on our beach, again with a brush, a little bit of water in it, your round brush, and I'm gonna pop in some bittersweet chocolate. And I'm just looking at it looks like I'm doing it on the bottom. So I'm gonna flip it over and I'm going to kind of just kind of, I don't know if you want to call it scrub, chop, whatever you want to call it, some of this color in on the beach area. I'm doing it to the bottom of that. A little bit of moisture helps. If you want to highlight some of that area, you can take the white and mix it in with the light beige, make it a little lighter, and you can hit the tops of this. It's like, be very careful. You want it more beige than white. And this is just a little detail, and it's like, really, after I finish this, you're gonna wonder, why did I even bother with that? Okay. I went crazy and even added shadows with the midnight green, a wash of shadows. And I kind of, which is crazy because if I highlight on this side, they should be on that side. So let's change direction. And you can even, if this tree is shading that one, you can kind of put a little bit of, lot of water. We can do the same on this side.
Well, you know, the fun thing about this is even though it's not going to show, we're learning technique, we're learning, you know, depth, and we're basking in that fun moment of all these details. And what was it that we were talking about when we sent out the email? You know, the vision or the, now I'm going to forget those beautiful things that we talked about. What was in the value of experience, right?
Sure.
You don't even remember what we said. You're like, I love it.
I love
Forget
it.
about it.
I do love it. So if you didn't want to put on the bench, park bench and sweethearts, I mean, you could just put the park bench on, or you can not put anything on it and stop here and be done. Because it's just a nice scene in itself, right? You can put some swans in here, lily pads, whatever you want. But this in itself could be a complete picture. But we are not going to stop there. We are going to put in the line drawing for your park bench and your people. At least, yeah, put in the park bench and the people and the foreground trees on your stage 3 line drawing. So determine where you want them to live. And make sure you use a T-square to line your lines up with. Because you don't want your park bench going up or downhill. What I want you to concentrate on now, after you put your drawing in, is with that black value, I want you to put in legs of the park bench and their legs. The rest of it you can do on your own. You know how to base coat all that silhouette in with black. There's nothing special to that. But in order to do the foreground, we have to have these in. And of course, the one in the front is a little longer than the one in the back. So what exciting things did you do this week, Melissa?
Well, Cindy, first I'll say that our school, we had a retreat that I got really involved in getting ready for, and it was about courage. And I was very busy with that. And I also saw a screening of a movie that's coming out next month called How to Be a Latin Lover. And I had this delicate balance at work of if I finish my work, I can go to the screening, and if I have everything done, I can go to the press junket. I had to finish all my work, and I didn't know until Friday at lunchtime that I can leave and go to the press junket, but it all worked out.
And who's starring in this movie?
Well, it stars Eugenio Derbez, who's a very famous actor in Mexico and director who directed it. And so he starred opposite Selma Hayek, and I met both of them. And then also one of the lead actors is Rob Lowe and Raquel Welch. And then a new little boy who acted in it is Rafael Alejandro. And so they were all at the press junket. And so I got to go, and my husband went too, and he got to record it and took a lot of pictures. And it was really neat because when you go to these press junkets, you never know if it's going to be like all the actors at a table and a big room of media where you might get a few questions in, or you might get to take pictures with them, or sometimes they're each in a room and you get to go in and have an individual meeting, but that's usually like news media. If I'm a blogger, so a lot of times that doesn't happen. Sometimes it's a big table with about 15 bloggers, and a few of the actors will come in and sit at the end of the table, and there's lots of different situations. Every time it's different.
So how was this set up?
This time it was a little room with a round table. There was 8 bloggers. I was one of them. And the actors came in one at a time. And so I got to sit next to them for about 20 minutes at a time. So I got, it was really neat.
So you could reach out and touch them.
Yeah. And so, you try not to like get to a fangirl or whatever on them. But it was really exciting. And Rob Lowe was the first one that came in. Actually, no, Rafael Alejandro, the little boy, was the first one that came in.
Now, why does that name sound familiar to me, Melissa?
Rafael Alejandro?
Yeah.
Because you like Once Upon a Time.
Ooh.
And he was in about, 15 episodes of that?
Yep.
Yeah, he's adorable. He's so cute. Who said that? You?
I said it.
Oh, I sounded like somebody else behind me. So yeah, so he was really, really cute. And so he was fine with being videotaped and lots of pictures. And so we've got, I showed Cindy the video of it. It was really adorable. And I asked him a lot of great questions, and he was just he's 9 years old and he's tiny, but he's really sweet. And then Rob Lowe came in. Rob Lowe. It's so weird to say Rob Lowe. It's like Rob. I don't know. There was like 3 other Robs in the production. But anyway, he came in and he was really nice. And he sat next to me with a chair in between. So he had his arm over the chair the whole time. And I kept wishing that I could just get in there under his arm and just kind of snuggle in with him. And he was so cute. So at the end I did. I did. I asked him if I can, and he thought I wanted to shake his hand because I put my hand out. I'm like, can I just get in here? And I snuggled in there with him and I got a selfie and everybody laughed. And then he patted me on the back and it was really funny. And my husband videotaped that. So that was
So handsome.
That's going in the blog.
Still. And who else? Raquel Welch.
Raquel Welch came and she sat in that seat that Rob was in and she didn't like it. And then so she sat in the seat next to me and then they took that other chair away. And so I'm just staring at her face the whole time. She good. It looked really, really good. She looks great. And so she, you know, she's really funny actually. And she said a lot of people don't know that about her. She has a great sense of humor. And if you see her in this film, she actually plays it straight, but it's a hilarious role. So funny. So
Wait, when does it come out?
You're so like interviewing me. It comes out April 28th here in the US. And it's like I said, the lead actor Eugenio Derbez is huge in Mexico. I mean, like they could not film it there because they filmed a lot of it in the street and you know, in public, and if they filmed it there, they wouldn't be able to because he's such a big star. So, so anyhow, they're expecting it to be really big there, and with Salma Hayek too. So, but it's going to be here first. So hopefully, you guys get to see it. It's really funny.
I hope I get to see it. Yeah.
There's a lot of other stars in it too. A lot of people you would recognize that have small parts, and so it's a huge all-star cast.
So here. We're going to put in our foliage. Take out that foliage brush. Start with your start with your Midnite Green toward the bottom and bring it up. You can go over your walkway on the side if you want. Bring it up over your walkway. The most important part, now you can have some of your walkway showing. You want it very deep, thick down here at the base. But you also want to touch the bottoms of the feet of the bench and the people. All the rest is fluff.
Kind of like my story I just gave.
I liked your fluffy story.
A fluffy story. Well, it is exciting.
Now, if flowers live in your world, you can always add flowers to the shrubbery. But I kept it kind of monochromatic or analogous. Some more. I did add a different plant in there, and I'll do that in a second. These are brush that's really close to you. While you've got that dark on your dark on your brush, dark paint on your brush, you can come up here. Now you need to know where their heads are gonna be. So you have your line drawing, right? So you know where their head's gonna be. So you start at the top and you bring it over and then you kind of bring it down over their head. So it's important that you put this in. Now that you know where the...
You're off camera.
Oh, sorry.
That's what happens when you use that big canvas.
Yeah, I can back off. So as long as you know where their heads are, you can go in and cover up everything you just put on there. So put those in up there. so that they have time to dry. Now on the top ones that we're putting in here so they can dry, it's just the Midnite Green. On the bottom, you're going to put Midnite Green first, then Foliage. If you want to stick a little bit of the other greens in there, you can. I went from Midnite Green to Foliage to Colonial Blue. Back up again. There we go. I'll pick up some of the Colonial Blue. I want you to make sure that these areas, the top foliage trees are dry. If they're dry, great. If not, blow dry them. I'm going to show you just a quick little variation on a plant over here. And I'm going to stick Foliage Green in this corner. I have open. And I'm flicking it upward. Go to the left, go to the right, and go straight up over top of some of these other areas. Hard to see, but can you see that?
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice, like reeds coming up.
So yeah, like grass.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tap it with the same green on the tips. And then take my dirty brush, mix a little bit of white with it, and add a little bit of highlight. And I'm making the foliage here, whatever you want to call it, the part, narrow at the top and wider at the bottom. I'll show you on a piece of paper. So what I mean by that is I have my pieces coming up, and then what I'm doing is pretending that it goes like a tree. So when I tap it, I'm tapping it wide here, and then I tap it so that it's narrower at the top. That makes sense. So it's wide here, and then the tapping gets narrower at the top. That being done, if this is dry, I want you to get out your craft glue. This is the fun part, Melissa.
I know, I can't believe you spent all that time on trees because I was excited about this part. But I like trees too. So much excitement.
So,
You know what I'm doing right now, Cindy? I'm drawing my people on.
okay.
I couldn't wait anymore. I
So
want to see what they look like.
I'm going to do this up in the corner.
It's me and Rob Lowe.
And I'm just dabbing this color on. I don't know if you want to do little sections at a time. And then I'm going to take my eggshell and I'm going to place it down and then press and it cracks. So you just keep putting eggshell down. Where you want it. Try not to get glue on top of them, but I know that that sometimes is difficult to do. And you know me and glue, right?
Yep. It's like water and oil.
Yuck. Oops. So you can use tweezers if you have them. And I try to fill in as much area as I possibly can with the.
Well, I will tell you, ladies, that Sally and they start doing a live show where we do some of the pre-work but live. And I'll have my stuff done when we come to this part. That way I could do more talking and less painting with you. It's hard for me to do both. And I'm very excited about a couple of live things I'm going to be doing besides Inspiring Adventures, which is usually on Tuesday night where I interview people. I'm going to start doing a nightly kind of a variety show, kind of a late night talk show online on Facebook Live. And that's going to be interesting. I'm going to do that with my husband. We're going to talk about Paint with Heart and talk shows and stuff that's going on in the news, and that's going to be interesting.
And then we'll also have tips from the table be more regular.
Yes, live.
Live, okay. Live. So this is still kind of tacky, but I'm going to show you the next step anyways. This is one of those felt daubers that you can either make, you put a piece of Velcro on the end of a piece of wood, and then you put felt squares on it. I'm going to use Botanical, Meadow, and Sunshine Yellow. So, I open this up, and I put a few drops. And then you take it, turn it around, and you start Hitting your eggshells with the color. Isn't that cool?
Is cool.
And you can use those daubers or reuse them. You don't throw them away because the ink will reconstitute it. Let's see how close I can get here. See? So yeah, so that might be a little more yellow than it needs to be, but you just take it and just put more green on. You can just keep going over and over and over again. What do we think?
So we think it's awesome. And
I don't-
go ahead.
I was looking at Suzanne's thing. I don't know. I am ink or inks. Oh, ink sprays. The difference. Okay, so if you spritz it, it's gonna go everywhere. You know, so being on, if you put the ink if you spritz a piece of felt, and then dab it, fine. But don't spritz right onto this because the spritz will go everywhere.
Oh, you can't hear me?
There you go, better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I was thinking maybe it'd be fun to kind of to experiment with coloring eggs first, but that's not the same thing.
Oh.
That's okay.
So at any part of this you want to go back and you want to revisit, the some of the water area. Before you put on your peoples. You can do that. Obviously, you're gonna lose most of this when you put on the bench, but I just wanted to get in there. Get some more color.
I just really love it. It's got a lot of depth, and the bushes in the foreground. It's really great.
Let me just see if I can.
Oh, look at that. So do you want to, oh my gosh, Cindy, I just can't, I'm just basking in how awesome your picture is, your picture in picture there. It's kind of neat. Those little bushes in the foreground, I didn't do those yet. But you know, I think I want to finish coloring it or painting in my people and then do the foreground.
Yeah, you at least have to have the legs in.
Yeah, it just freaks me out, those legs by themselves.
Well, they'll be covered. You know what? If you brought the bush all the way up to their butts, would it, you know what I mean? It's okay.
No. Oh, don't want to video. Oh, look at that. Look at
Oh, hold on.
Suzanne. Hold on. Spotlight.
Cool.
All done.
Cool.
Very nice. And then look like different color leaves.
I like the colors. Do you like the colors?
Yeah, I do. Once I put this fluorescent green on,
Yep.
and you know, and it reacted, and I kind of swooshed it around.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference. Because, yeah.
Don't move it. Stop moving. Oh. I like how you do your trees in there.
Ophelia, what do you
Yeah.
got?
Well, I'm working on the eggshells.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Hold it up higher.
I like that. That's nice.
Oh, look at that. It's coming
Oh, yeah.
along.
Yeah,
Very nice.
That's
I love that
cool.
forest.
that's very nice.
Yeah.
The eggshells are sticking to my fingers though.
Yeah, that's why I took out my tweezers, because that was happening. But it happens, but it's still good. Cynthia, show us your lovely painting. Aw, sweet.
Oh, look at that.
That's nice. That's nice, Cynthia. Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go to, who's the Kathy? She can show us hers.
Oh,
Show
I'll
us
show
what
you
you got.
as far as I went today. I've got more to do on it.
That's
Quite a bit.
okay. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Yes, oh yes. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. You're gonna put it on a box?
I may put it on a box after, yes.
Even if you don't put the people, you can put the rest of it on a box. I think it would really be peaceful.
I think, yes.
I forgot about that.
Last but not least.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Kind of
is
behind.
pretty.
No, it's very pretty.
Thank you.
Because even if you don't put the park bench and the people, you know what I mean? It's still very pretty. I like your swamp.
Thank you. Kind of looks like a blanket right now.
Yeah, it's a swamp.
It's awesome though. I really enjoy it. And I'm going to finish it while I'm doing that with the kids because they want to do it. They're like, let's do Bob Ross. I'm like, yeah, it's not Bob Ross, but whatever, kids.
So do you want to say your goodbye?
Sure. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here on Paint with Heart with me and Cindy Harrison. We have enjoyed basking in the moment with you, and it is like sitting on a park bench in a beautiful forest, looking out onto the water every time we paint with you. And I just want to thank you for including me in your painting world.
And if you want to find out more about you and your adventures with Rob Lowe.
Well, besides reviewing movies and restaurants and all the fun things I get to do here in Hollywood, California, as your life coach and bloom boosting motivational coach, I have interviews with authors and motivational and inspirational quotes and books coming out, and I can go on and on about all different things I'm doing, but it's all positive, and you can find it all at MsMeliz.com.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I hope you enjoyed our piece here, basking in the moment. And truly what Melissa says is all true. We very much enjoy you joining us every week for Paint with Heart. I've been trying to put on the website, cindyharrisonart.com, under Paint with Heart. Each tile will try to be a complete in its own entity. So you're going to have a title, you're going to have the color photo, finished photo, if I can. You're going to have the video after I do the live performance. And then you'll also have your supply list, your line drawings, if there is one. And if you want to buy the written copies or the digital copies of the written instructions. Everything should be there. So if there's any questions and you can't find anything, you can't navigate around my website, please contact me on Facebook. It's facebook.com Paint with Heart, / Paint with Heart, or Cindy at cindyharrisonart.com. So until next week, Melissa, remember to always
Paint with heart.
Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Hey, look what I neck isn't all shaking all over the place this time. Uh-oh.
You want to do that again?
That made me dizzy. Are you recording?
We'll put that in the bloopers.